think like when I was in art school, my big eureka moment when I had a course about feminist art and about how feminist art kind of started performance art in many ways, and started this idea of the body in work. So like, and just this idea of the new voice, because suddenly there came a new voice in art, which had not existed before. It's like half of humanity sort of did not have a voice, but it's like so short time since it just like this greatest revolution I think this greatest revolution in history happened, and it's constant and it's still happening, and I just think it's super important and super exciting, and that's what I like love about living in our times, that these things are changing, that the kind of the macho power is like this. I mean, it's still very strong, but it's it's weakening, luckily, and also just like this this dualistic power of right and wrong, and to like always avoid the emotional. It always has to be rational, not emotional. But I kind of believe that the feminine voice is kind of more, and it's even like when you talk about it, it's like to say that emotional, it just is considered a bad thing. It's considered stupid to be emotional. It should be rational, but people do the most stupid things when they're being rational. I'm like, I essentially like hope and believe in feminism, and this work is meant to celebrate this kind of celebrate the woman in all of us. It's like a friend of mine who says like every artist is a woman. To be an artist you have to be a woman. So like it's kind of to celebrate the feminine side.
Okay, thank you. A question about the visitors. Okay.
Yeah.
You presented visitors also last year in Ingres Museum in Zurich, and also in different institutions this year.
Yeah.
But Hangar, as we see, is connoted by a specified atmosphere and structure.
Yeah.
How have you organized the display of the exhibition?
The display is
also with curators in relation to the space? Yeah,
a lot with Andrea Lisoni here and Matteo, the technician.
Okay, Matteo.
And Chris McDonald, who did the sound in the piece, and we worked together a lot. And it was very like an interesting thing, because the hangar is such a character, the space has so much character. And usually when I've shown it, it's more like the piece is in a more abstract space, more like dark space. But here you're really in this very industrial space, and having this very elaborate 19th century house. It really feels like you have the house in the space. It's like a house within the house.
As Andrea said, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm very excited about showing it here.
Yeah, and what about the title? I mean, that is a title of ABBA song?
Yeah, it's a title of and their last album, which is called The Visitors. And I was just thinking about the title for it. It was supposed to be called, My Feminine Ways, but I thought it was too literal, because we were singing all the time.
You got inspiration by...
Yeah, so but I also get inspiration by ABBA a lot, and because they're this very bubblegum sounding glitzy band, but their feeling is always very melancholic and very kind of dark Scandinavian suffering, like Ingmar Bergman-esque suffering, but in bubblegum pop costumes, which I think is really a fantastic tension about the band,
Okay, you said that extension in time and duration are one of the most important elements that people can experience during the exhibition, right? And I just want to ask you to specify in which way the visitor can consider a choral piece. I mean, also in relation to time, maybe.
Yeah, to that, because it's really nice. I like this idea to stop time a bit in my works. That is like, like there is no narrative, but somehow the music creates some kind of a seduction. So you stay or not stay, but you're not like, you don't feel like you're obliged to stay because you have to follow the narrative. And it's time is always very important for me to kind of make things sculptural in a way. Like when it's longer, it becomes like a sculpture or a painting. So like the piece I have in the Venice Biennale now, which is the boat with the brass band. Yeah. And that's very much like turning kind of music into sculpture, into a kinetic sculpture. So yeah.
So there is also this idea of music as a sculptural element, also connecting with maybe performing arts and cinema, theater. So it's what a sort of total vision of.
Because I'm raised in the theater, but what I remember, like what I kind of was always a little bit. What I was always a little bit. What's it called? Like it was a little bit of disappointment when the narrative came into the theater. Because always just like the situation of theater. But then it was like, then there's always the story, the narrative, and it's sort of the same thing I'm doing in this one with the cinematic experience of creating cinema without a narrative. And yeah.
Okay, good. For me, it's
okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.